And now, need to say congratulations to one of Yorkshire women who's been named one of the UK's most influential female entrepreneurs. Frederika Roberts is the founder and managing director of a social enterprise company, Educate to Flourish, and it's a recognition of her work during the pandemic. Frederika, congratulations and good morning.
Thank you very much, Georgie. Good morning to you as well.
Oh, how do you feel? You're a winner chicken dinner.
I feel absolutely stunned, actually, looking at the other 99 women who have been listed and the 200 over the past 2 years as well. I'm still pinching myself that I've actually been included in this phenomenal list of very inspirational women. I'm delighted. And what I found was particularly great is that this is the I Also 100 campaign, and it's for so many women, and it tends to be women that do this, that, you know, when you ask them what they do, they say, well, I do this, and I also do this, and I also do this,
oh,
and I
yes.
also do this.
Yes.
And so it's great to have an award or a recognition for those of us who actually can't just be pigeonholed into one thing, and we do lots of different things, which is really exciting.
It does beg the question, what do you do at Educate to Flourish?
Well, at Educate to Flourish, we support children's flourishing. So it's training and consultancy with schools and academy trusts into well-being initiatives, but particularly really taking whole school and whole trust approaches to well-being. And boy, do we need it at the moment. And taking some slightly more holistic approaches, such as supporting staff to do action research projects so that they can actually research initiatives and properly kind of look at what works in their context, and supporting schools and trusts through a process called appreciative inquiry, which is a strengths-based transformation process. So it's taking that really holistic look at what do we need to do to support children to flourish through the education system, but so that they don't just do well academically, but they're equipped for life, not just while they're at school, but beyond, and that they can bounce back from setbacks and they can adapt to the challenges that life throws us.
Well, I'm going to say now, what a challenge life has thrown them at the moment with the pandemic.
Absolutely.
And how do they bounce back from this? What's it been like working during this pandemic?
It's been interesting. When we went into the first lockdown, I was due to do a load of work with staff and pupils in a number of schools down in Surrey. And within days, we changed all of that to online delivery, which was, you know, nobody was used to doing that at that point. At one point, my colleague and I were delivering a workshop, and all we could see of the pupils was actually, we could see an opening of a door. The computer we were in was in a cupboard, in a store cupboard, so we could see into the sports hall from an open door in the cupboard, and then children would appear in the cupboard and hold up drawings and stuff. But they could see us on a big screen in the hall. We did things like laughter yoga, but we couldn't see them or hear them. Just there was something happening at the other end.
Just so difficult.
Yes, but you know, as the months have gone on, everybody has got better at the technology. Everybody's got better at adapting to the fact that you can do an awful lot with people even when you're not online with them. And actually, Educate to Flourish has been busier than ever, and we've got work lined up with schools for the next sort of 2 or 3 years in terms of long-term projects, because already there were schools that were doing so much to promote well-being and to really look at, you know, schools that are about so much more than just academic performance. But if anything, this pandemic has really shown that it is more important than ever to equip children with these skills to actually be able to flourish long term, no matter what life throws at us. And of course, to support children, we support teachers as well, and we support the children's parents. So all of the training that we do, all of the research that we support, it's not directly always with the children's well-being, but also everything that supports that through staff well-being, teaching and non-teaching, and also how do we support families.
How do you know whether you've made a difference, Frederika?
That's always the $1 million question, isn't it? I suppose in the short term, you do get some little bits of kind of feedback that tell you that. I remember at one point, one of the schools I worked in, the predecessor of Educate to Flourish, And one of the girls, a 10-year-old girl, came up to me at the end of one of my sessions on resilience, and I'd taught them simple practices such as mindful breathing, for example. And she said to me, I have panic attacks every single day, and this is really going to help me. And then I saw her a few weeks later on another session we ran, and she told me that the panic attacks had got better. She had fewer of them.
Fantastic.
So, you know, it's those little things. It's gradual changes, but it does make a difference.
It begs the question, how did you first get into this?
I got into this about 7 or 8 years ago as a speaker and trainer, and have written a number of books on this in the meantime. And I got into this primarily because I looked at my life. I was working in recruitment at the time and running a couple of other businesses. I was already leading an I Also life then.
Yes.
And I was absolutely exhausted, and I kind of took stock a bit and thought, what do I want to do and what matters to me? And I realized that well-being and supporting people with that really mattered, and I wanted to share what I'd done that helped me when both my daughters went through open heart surgeries and cardiac arrests over the years. And yes, exactly. And I realized as I started researching it that there was this thing called positive psychology, and it wasn't a lot of the stuff that I was doing intuitively had actually been researched, and I started doing a lot more in that field, and actually ended up last year qualifying with a master's in applied positive psychology, and I'm now actually doing a doctorate in education to research whole school well-being more. So,
do you know, ask a busy person and look at you. It's no wonder you're on that list of 100, Frederika. Look, thank you so much for coming on the show this morning and sparing some of your very valuable time, as I now understand it.
Thank you so much, Georgie.
Lovely to talk to you. No, pleasure, total pleasure. Frederika Roberts, she's the founder and managing director of a social enterprise company, Educate to Flourish, and she has been named as one of the UK's most influential female entrepreneurs, not to mention busy.